Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to try one of the most hyped fragrances of all time and give you my very first impression. Alright, so here I have, real quick, before we get into it, I do want to give a shout out to my man Ivan from his YouTube channel, Tattooed Fragrance Dude. I'll have it linked in the bottom. I want to thank him for sending out this official carded sample. So thank you very much. I appreciate that, my man. So go ahead and check out his channel, subscribe. He's got some really cool content. Let's get into it. Now, today's fragrance is obviously none other than Baccarat Rouge 540. This is the EDP Eau de Parfum. There's also an Extrait de Parfum concentration. This was released in 2015 by the house and perfumer Mason Francis Kirkjohn. It's been reviewed a ton, so I'm not really gonna go too much into it. I'm just gonna give you my first impressions, whether it's worth keep sampling, maybe purchasing a decant, or maybe it's just straight up not my style. So obviously I don't have the full bottle, but put a picture up and it looks just like this. It's a really fancy looking bottle. I think it's nice. I've seen it in person, but like I said, I've never tried this. This is classified as, well, has main accords of woody, amber, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy, aromatic, metallic, white floral, and animalic. As far as the notes, it's a simple note breakdown, but I'm sure there's more to it. In your top notes, you've got saffron, jasmine. Middle notes, you've got amberwood, ambergris, and in your base notes, fir resin and cedar. So just by looking at this note breakdown, what do I expect? Well, the one note that stands out to me is saffron. I think from the fragrances that I have and I've smelled, I expect this to be very sweet. Fragrances like Torino 22, which fragrances like Torino 22, which I do have. This is a tester bottle, that's why it comes in this white looking box, but let me show you guys while we're here. So this one, Serjoff Torino 22, really nice looking bottle, right? To me, if you guys are familiar with this fragrance and you know the fragrance, in the note breakdown, it's got a saffron note and it's got a bunch of other notes like eucalyptus, other things, right? I wasn't expecting this to be quite as sweet as it is. This is a very sweet fragrance, and I think it's due to that saffron note. So that's what I'm expecting here. If I see that's the first note on Baccarat Rouge 540, and this was too sweet for my taste. So what's another one? And Sarah's Instant Crush. If you guys are familiar with that one, same thing, saffron. I did have a 5 ml sample of that, purchased a kit, and I remember that this one was getting compared to Instant Crush was compared a lot to Baccarat Rouge 540. I didn't really like that one. What else? It also gets compared to Ariana Grande's Cloud, which my daughter does have. So I've smelled that quite a bit. I'll see if that's actually similar. So let's go ahead. I think that's enough of that. This video's gone too long, and I'm gonna test it out for the first time. I'm gonna give you guys my first impression. What I'm gonna obviously sample, it's hard to say this is good, this is not. You have to actually wear it. Some fragrances I didn't enjoy at first, but later on it grew on me. So what I'm looking at it is as a first impression. If I were out at Nordstrom or something and I test this out, if this is something that I would even be interested. Oh, I could smell it. Well, from here it's not as sweet, as it's a little bit musky, but so I'm gonna look at it as if I just sample it and see if this intrigues me to keep sampling it, to keep trying it out. And here we go. See if you guys could see that. I'm gonna give it 2 sprays. Let's let that dry down. Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm gonna try a little bit. The opening is, it's quite loud, but it is quite sweet. Doesn't smell synthetic, not like that synthetic sweetness. Wow, this is very, very sweet. Just from getting the wafts from far away, it does give me that instant crush similarity. Also, the Ariana Grande, even the Torino 22, a little bit, it's in that vein. It's in that ballpark. But I like this has, right now you got that sweetness, but right under it you have the woody, also you have a woodiness coming off of this. So it's sweet and woody at the same time. That I actually enjoy. So it's not as overly sweet as Torino 22. It also, from far away, I do get a little bit of that vibe of that Ariana Grande cloud. I know because when my daughter sprays it, it's really loud. Wow, this is good. And it's also projecting very good. I think that this is a fragrance that you would easily go nose blind to it, but it's probably one of those really good performing fragrances, loud, that you immediately go nose blind because but it is good. It's not bad. It is sweet, but woody at the same time. It's starting to change a little bit. You still have that, I want to say it's that saffron note behind all, on top of everything, but it is projecting and it is starting to develop a little bit. I can't speak on the performance yet, right? What seasons or occasions could this be worn in, or could I see? I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not too sure when you would want to smell as sweet as this. I'm very curious to let this develop and see how it turns and if it gets even woodier or what I get from this. But as of now, just from this opening, again, it's just a first impression and opening. By far, it's not a full-on review. It's not, I couldn't tell you. It is a little bit more, I could see this being enjoyed more for females, leaning more feminine. It is unisex fragrance. Males, and you guys could pull it off. We could pull it off, but you'd have to be in the mood for something like this. You'd want to be having that sweet vibe. So I'm curious. I'm gonna let this keep developing on me. See if I could talk a little bit about how it performs and spray a little bit more. But this is very comparable. I can compare this to those fragrances. Torino 22, it's got a similar vibe. If you've tried this, it definitely does. You can get this for a lot cheaper. This one retails for what, 325 bucks for a 2.4 ounce. I got this for 130, 50 ml. So if you want to get that similar vibe, I think this is another option. I'm starting to get that ambergris that gives it that muskiness in the background. So that's quite nice. It's not full on just sweet cloying. It's not synthetic. It smells very good, very high quality. But I agree that I would love this probably on my wife more than I would for myself. So I'm very glad that I'm able to try this out, because I remember at one point there was a really good deal on Fragrance Buy, and I was so close to just pulling the trigger because of all the hype and all the rave about it. But I also hear a lot getting it compared to cotton candy. I don't know, not on my skin. It is sweet, but it definitely has resemblance to that Mancera Instant Crush. That one's like dirt cheap. I think it's like 80 bucks. I'm just not really into the Manceras, but this is not bad. I'm gonna let my wife try it out and see what she says about this fragrance, this style, because I know she's never tried it either. But I'm gonna completely wear it. But as of now, this is probably not something that, it doesn't really interest me to keep sampling and to even have a full bottle of this. No, it's just not my style. It's not a bad fragrance. It's good. It's very sweet, but I think this is more feminine leaning. And same for me. I wouldn't seek something out. For sure I wouldn't want to keep sampling, or this is just not my style. I think I'd rather, if I want to go towards sweet, I'd rather go something a little bit darker sweet, not this bright sweet that saffron gives. And I think I'm realizing that saffron is just not my thing. But there could be there's a ton of fragrances out there, but this definitely gives me the vibe of this one, except woodier. All right, so that's gonna do it. That's just a quick quick first impression video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I got a lot more fragrances to come. I've got a ton of fragrances to unbox and go through. So if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. And for those of you that have been subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate it, and take care.